Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is going to showcase an authentic, old school CSGO Hi, I'm Heyzeus, and this video is going to showcase an authentic, old school CSGO loadout, looking at the best loadout you could have gotten if you were buying skins at the end of February 2014, so around the start of Operation Phoenix, basically anything from the Phoenix case or older, which is about 6 years ago now, which is really remarkable when you think about it, and we've gotten a lot of nice skins since then, and I want to showcase what a high-end loadout really looked like back in the day. Sponsored by SkinBay, the easy-to-use cash-out site, guarded by a fish who thinks he's part of Slipknot. Now, basically we're trying for an authentic loadout, so we're not going for the absolute rarest collector's pieces possible, we're more interested in what Joe Rich Kid would have gone for at the time, and it's also important to keep in mind people didn't really know about float values back then, they didn't really understand skinware, so that's something that's going to factor in. Now, naturally we're going to start with the rifles, and of those we're going to start with the T-side rifles. So for the AK-47 we're going to use the Fire Serpent. There's only really three options, the Fire Serpent, the Case Hardened or the Redline, and out of all of these, the Fire Serpent is arguably top because it's the only covert. A field-tested Fire Serpent was only about $30 back in February 2014, and a field-tested AK Case Hardened was only about $7, which is kind of unreal now when you look at their prices these days, but out of the options, the Fire Serpent is definitely the most high-end. And for the Galil, we're using the orange DD pack. Now, you probably didn't know this skin existed, but it was actually the best Galil skin at the time, a restricted Esports 2013 case skin, the best Galil out there in early 2014, believe it or not. And for the SG553, we're going to use the Pulse. Now, this is a Phoenix case skin, and it's actually a nice skin, I like this one, but again, it's really the only nice SG skin available. Everything else is mil-spec or worse, and just generally shit. So, thank God for this skin. Now, as for the CT rifles, the best M4 skin out there is the Asimov. There were a few other options available at the time, but the Asimov is definitely the standout skin. It's a really good skin even today because, you know, it's an Asimov, why not? Now, for the FAMAS, on the other hand, we're going to use the After Image. Now, there are a few restricted options out there, but this is the only classified one, and it's from the 2013 winter case, so as much as I do like the Pulse up here, I had to go with this. Now, the AUG, on the other hand, is going to be the Chameleon. There are some other nice options available, again, like the Hot Rod and the Anodized Navy, but the Chameleon is the only covert skin, and I feel like because of that, it really has to be the number one choice. So that brings us to the Scar 20, and for that gun, we're going to use a real gun, you fucking scrub! As for the Scout, well, there's only really one option here, the Blood in the Water, or as it's known these days, RIP Trade Up Contract. Really poignant artwork, actually, and for the AUG, we're going to use the Asimov. Now, there is also the Graphite and the Lightning Strike, but I feel like it has to be the Asimov. It's a no-brainer, that's the legendary skin, we have to go with that. Anyway, moving on to the pistols, the CT default pistol we're going to use is the P2000 Ocean Foam. There aren't really many good options here, just a pile of crap, but of that pile of crap, I definitely prefer the Ocean Foam, which is actually a classified skin despite its appearance, and it's probably the best and definitely the most expensive default CT pistol available. And if we were going to use the P250, we would use the Mendai, one of a number of good choices. But the thing is, during February 2014, the P250 was able to be swapped out with the CZ, and did I mention at the time that the CZ was worth only $300 and was a guaranteed headshot? So yeah, sorry P250, but we're going to be using the CZ instead, and we're going to go for the CZ Victoria, a shit covert skin for a shit gun that broke CSGO. Now, for the 5.7, we're using the Case Hardened, a nice solid gun. Sorry Vagina Pattern 5.7, you didn't quite make it. And as for the Glock, well, we're using the Glock Fade, which is worth a fortune today, but was only like $35 back then. Now, for the Tech 9, the other broken-ass overpowered pistol of 2014, we're going to go for the Nuclear Hazard, symbolic of the impact of this weapon on CSGO's competitive balance. And as for the dualies, it's basically a choice between the Hemoglobin and the Swedish dualies. And personally, I prefer the Swedish dualies, Mariner. I think they're a bit better overall. And as for the Desert Eagle, well, naturally, that has to be the Blaze. I mean, just look at the other shit on offer. There's no comparison. Even today, this is probably still the best Eagle, and it was only about $20 in February 2014. It's gotten a lot more expensive since then. Now, as for the SMGs, well, we're going to start on the MP9, and for that, we're going to get the Rose Iron. Now, there are a couple of other options. The factory new Bulldozer is definitely the most high-end. They're very expensive, but no one really understood floats in early 2014, and the MP9 isn't really a status piece anyway, and the Rose Iron is easily the nicest looking MP9 available, so we're going for that. For the Mac 10, on the other hand, we're looking at the Amber Fade. This is from the Mirage collection, a collection that is fairly easy to forget about, and for the MP7, well, we're going to go for a whiteout from the Office collection. I believe this was the most expensive MP7 available at the time for a whopping $3 if you wanted it in minimal wear. There weren't many good options available at the time. As for the Bison, well, we're going to go for the Modern Hunter. Now, this is a skin from the Militia collection. You've probably never heard of it, but the Bison is a shit gun, and we are scraping the bottom of the barrel to find good skins for it in February 2014. Now, for the UMP, we do have something nicer, specifically the Blaze from the Mirage collection, and again, this is actually a kind of nice skin. There weren't many good UMP skins in 2014, so getting this one is a natural choice because it's kind of cool. As for the P90, well, obviously, we have to go for the Death by Kitty. Not because it's the only interesting option, we actually have quite a few of these. There are some nice P90 skins released early on, but the reason we're getting it is because it's covert, while the rest of them are only classified. So we sort of have to go for the Death by Kitty. Now, at this point, we are up to the shotguns, and I'm surprised at just how awful the range was in early 2014. I mean, it does start off okay with this Mag 7 Bulldozer from the Mirage collection. It's an alright skin, although it's very difficult to get in a decent float, which is why this one is a bit scratched up. And again, we didn't really understand float values in early 2014, and the sort of has an okay option, the Kraken, which arguably still is the nicest skin for this gun even today. And as for the Nova, well, the best available skin is the Skull from the Winter Offensive case. Don't worry about the fact that the inspect is terrible. There isn't anything to see here anyway. Now, the XM1014 has fared a little bit better. The best thing we can get is this Blaze Orange from the Militia collection. I mean, this thing's alright. And as for the M249, well, the best thing is the Mil-Spec Magma from the Winter Offensive case. That's all the commentary this thing deserves. Well, the best Negev out of basically no viable options is the Palm from the Assault collection. I mean, you're not going to use it anyway. It was $5,700 in-game at the time. And with our loadout of guns complete, there's only one thing left to get, and that is our knife. It's time we replace this crappy thing. Now, ignoring the ridiculously rare shit like Blue Gems and factory new Crimson Webs, personally, I think the best thing we could have gotten at the time is a Karambit Fade. I don't know if you agree with me, but I feel like this would have been the natural rich kid pick. It probably also would have been worth about as much as the rest of the inventory combined at the time, but I've got an issue. You see, I can't afford to buy one of these things for use in game. They're too expensive. Google, could you help me out with this? Here we go. How to change skins for CSGO offline only. This sounds perfect. I'm going to give this a go. Just let me have a look. Okay, hold on. Wait. Hold on. Does this mean you can get any skin in game just by editing the game files? Wait. You mean I bought all this stuff for nothing? Anyway, that's pretty much it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please like, comment, subscribe, massively appreciated. A big thank you to Skinbay for sponsoring us. Skinbay is a cash out site where you can sell your CSGO skins for real cash. Just log in through Steam to start selling. The sales fee is only 5% with skinbay.com in your username, and there is a whole bunch of different ways to cash out. If you're looking to buy, on the other hand, well, you can get some sick discounts on skins compared to the Steam market, and there is a bunch of convenient ways to deposit. It's quick, It's easy, it's safe, it's a great place to buy and sell skins. I recommend checking it out. Otherwise, trust the numbers, not your gut. I'm Heyzeus. Thanks for watching. See ya.